Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Andy Pettitte shocked the baseball world when he came out of retirement in March. Then on a warm, sunny Mother's Day, Andy made a triumphant return to the mound at Yankee Stadium against the Mariners. Statistically not the best outing, but the trademark fire was evident from the first pitch. Start after start, Pettitte continued to baffle hitters and rack up strikeouts. The Yankees would win 5 of his next 7 starts. Then on June 27th, a hot shot off the bat of Cleveland's Casey Kotchman changed the fate of Pettitte and altered the course of this Yankee season. Today, he returns again to a team that needs him and his fire. It all starts right now on Yes. And on a gorgeous Wednesday afternoon, it is time for baseball as Kia Motors presents the Wednesday game of the week. It's the Toronto Blue Jays against the New York Yankees in the first of 3 from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Al Leiter and Ken Singleton. I'm Michael K. Well, yesterday's game was rained out, so a day-night doubleheader today. Andy Pettitte's going to start the first game. The second game, it'll be David Phelps. But let's take a look at the first game pitching matchup brought to you by the New York Lottery. Henderson Alvarez will get the start for the Blue Jays, 9-12, 4.91. And Andy Pettitte making his first start since late June, 3-3, 3.22. And now the Yankees are in the middle of a pennant race, but this is very important for any postseason aspirations they have.
No doubt about it, Michael. And it's Andy Pettitte. You talk about a guy on the mound that knows how to pitch. I'm impressed with what he's been able to do with his strikeouts. Highest strikeouts per 9 in his career. He's not pitching like a 40-year-old. He does have a 70-pitch count limit. Be interested to see how he does early in this game.
Now, you want to get him straightened out, but you also have to win games. Yesterday, the Orioles won an 18-inning game, and the Yankees and the Orioles are essentially tied atop the American League East. And, Kenny, it's unbelievable. It's going to come down to the final 2 weeks.
It certainly will, Michael, but the fact is the Yankees are getting healthier and healthier. Andy Pettitte coming back today, and we've seen since Alex Rodriguez came back, he's hitting an even 300. Ivan Nova came off the disabled list. He got a win in his first start. So if Andy Pettitte can perform like that, the Yankees should be okay.
Unbelievable, and he's going to be facing Henderson Alvarez. Some of the Yankees in the lineup actually have very good numbers, albeit limited, against Alvarez. We'll take a look at some of the positive matchups for the Yankees when we come back right here on Yes. Henderson Alvarez. Now, that isn't a big body of work, but some of the guys in this lineup have had success. Look at Cano, 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Alex Rodriguez batting .500. He's driven in 3 runs and hit a home run. Russell Martin, 2 for 4, also a home run and 2 ribbies. And Curtis Granderson, 3 for 7 with a double. So we will look at those 4 through this game to see how they fare against Henderson Alvarez, the starter in Game 1 for the Blue Jays against Andy Pettitte. When we come back, it is a gorgeous day for baseball. The beginning of a long baseball day at the stadium. Lineup, first pitch, baseball, next on Yes. Out here as we start game one of this day-night doubleheader. Andy on the mound for the first time since June 27th. And this is the lineup that he's going to face. The Blue Jays starting lineup presented by Bank of America. Rajai Davis in right field will lead off. Colby Rasmus, the center fielder, bats second. Batting third, playing third base, Brett Laurie. Adam Lind is the first baseman. He'll clean up. Catching is Jeff Mathis. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth, the DH, Moises Sierra. The second baseman is Omar Vizquel. Adeiny Echeverria is going to play shortstop. He'll bat eighth, and batting ninth and playing left field is Anthony Gose.
And on the mound for the first time since June 27th, Andy Pettitte turns the Yankee Stadium. All the hard work is paid off. All the throwing on the side, the simulated games, getting the arm and leg back in shape. These are his numbers, all limited that they are. 9 starts to be his 10th of the year. 3-3, excellent ERA, 3.22. 15 walks against 59 strikeouts in 58 2/3 innings. Here's our scouting report. Messina and Clemens, only 2 pitchers have ever beaten the Blue Jays more than Andy Pettitte. Messina 25 times, Clemens 24 times, Andy Pettitte 21 times. His home ERA, he's done his best pitching here in the Bronx, 2.09, and stamina could be a factor. He's on a 70 pitch limit, and we'll see how it works out for Andy Pettitte in his first start back since June 27th.
Now, it seems like a long time since he's been on the mound, but he said that he's back sooner than he thought he was going to be. He was hoping to get 2 or 3 starts. Now it could be 3 or 4, but the rain out yesterday probably eliminates that 4th start. So we'll see how he does. Andy's ready. Davis is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. The first pitch is a strike, and we're underway. He has said that he's amazed the way his arm felt during the simulated games. He said there was no concern whatsoever, and the command was there. And there he throws 2 straight strikes.
That's what he's done so well, and I was surprised a little bit. Kenny is the most strikeouts per 9 in his career at 40 years old.
Yeah, 59 strikeouts and 50, like a strikeout per inning.
Well, backdoor slider right here.
I think one thing Andy Pettitte has learned to do during the course of his career, and he learned it a long time ago, believe me, get ahead on counts and then expand the strike zone. Get hitters to get themselves out by chasing pitches just out of the zone. He's excellent at that, particularly with a breaking ball.
Well, I think the layoff has helped him, at least stamina-wise. And also, he's got adrenaline pumping right now. He just threw a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And when he was dealing before he got hurt, he was usually living around 87, 88. So feeling pretty good as he starts off here. Swing and a miss. Rajai Davis is down on strike. So another strikeout for Andy Pettitte. The Yankee defense behind him is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. In the outfield, it's Ichiro, Granderson, and Swisher left to right. Infield is Chavez, Nunez, Cano, and Swisher. That's third to first. And behind the plate is Russell Martin, and Andrew Eugene Pettitte is on the mound. Ibanez is in right. Swisher is at first.
And there's this slider. It throws a lot of it, and it's so late break. And I think what has made him even more effective is that he throws it on both sides of the plate. You see Russell Martin setting up outside. Rajai Davis opens up his hip. See you later.
Yeah, it was a 2-strike pitch, close enough that Davis had to commit.
Colby Rasmus takes inside. 1-0. According to who you're listening to, he's going to throw either 55 to 75 pitches. Andy wants it to be 70. I think that's what Joe Girardi would like as well, because if he makes 2 more starts after that, you add 15 to each previous outing, and that will get him up to be a 100-pitch pitcher before the playoffs. 1-1. Inside, 2-1.
Well, I also think, Michael, you have a spectrum of 55 to 70. Look, I think we're in an age with pitch count being such a topic. There's different ways you get to 70 or 55 or whatever the number is. And I think that's what Joe Girardi and Larry Rothschild will be watching, is to the effort. There's stressful pitches. You can throw 50 pitches and, you know, get out of jams and double play balls and then cruise. There's a whole other level of effort when a guy's either throwing strikes, getting ahead, or having to fight back into counts.
The 3-1. And Rasmus works a walk.
Well, that's one thing that Andy Pettitte's kind of always had as well. The fact is he's had, I like to call it escapability. He knows how to get that double play when he needs to get one. And here's a prime situation. Well, you got a runner, a hitter at the plate has good speed, Laurie, but Here's your double play situation, can get you out of an inning.
So Laurie looking down at third base coach Brian Butterfield. Now he's in the box. There's a strike on the outside corner. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It is a beautiful day, but let's look at the numbers on the day. 68 degrees, 45% humidity. The wind is 10 miles per hour, and it is indeed a great day for baseball. 90-mile-an-hour fastball off the outside corner.
Yeah, Laurie just recently returned from the disabled list. He's 0 for his last 14, but 7 for 31 since coming off the DL. It seems when they get somebody back, somebody else goes out with an injury. Edwin Encarnacion is out with a bad toe, and he's been a big force in their lineup. 40 home run man not playing, at least this afternoon.
Now, we told you the defensive setup for the Yankees. If you just joined us and you haven't seen it on Twitter or online, Derek Jeter not playing in the first game because Joe Girardi, with Jeter's bulky left ankle, does not want to play him 2 games, so he's going to play him in the night game. There's a chance you could see him maybe as a pinch hitter in this game, but he didn't want to play in 2 games. 1-1. Fly ball left field. Ichiro slides to make the play for the second out.
Well, when you want as many Gold Gloves as Ichiro has, I'm sure he's made many a play better than this one, or certainly tougher than that one. But he's going to slide underneath it, make a chest high catch, and that's out number 2. Nice play in left field.
And that'll bring up Adam Lynn. Blue Jays are 66 and 79. And since the All-Star break, they're 23 and 36, and only the Indians have a worse record in the American League since that time. And if you want to shorten it, go back to July 30th. They're 15 and 29. So this team has really struggled, and a lot of people thought that this team was ready to take the next step and contend this year. I'm sure John Farrell, the manager, felt that way as well, but they lost 60% of their starting rotation within a week early in the season to injury, and they have really been slapped around injury-wise. That one's driven to left center. Curtis Granderson will make the play, and Andy Pettitte has 1 inning under his belt, 13 pitches. Blue Jays nothing. Yankees coming to bat. Night's game was supposed to be Andy Pettitte against Ricky Romero, but Romero is going to start the night portion of the day-night doubleheader. Let's take a look at the Yankees starting lineup that Alvarez is going to face, and it's presented by Lexus. The left fielder Ichiro Suzuki will lead off. Batting second and playing first base, Nick Swisher. Second baseman Robinson Cano hits third. Cleaning up the DH, Alex Rodriguez. Curtis Granderson in center field will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Russell Martin. Eric Chavez, the third baseman, bats seventh. The number 8 hitter is the right fielder Raul Ibanez, and Eduardo Nunez at shortstop is going to bat ninth.
The young right-hander on the mound for the Blue Jays is Henderson Alvarez, just 22 years old. And he comes in with a record of 9 and 12. You can see the elevated ERA, 4.91. A lot of hits. Opponents batting very high against him, 292. Here's our pitcher scout report on Henderson Alvarez for this afternoon's game. Rick Porcello, the Detroit Tigers, the only pitcher in the league has given up more hits than Henderson Alvarez. Alvarez has given up 196. Porcello 215. Left-handed batters, .311 against him this season, and he's not overpowering. 3.3 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's the lowest of qualifying major league pitchers. So the ball is going to be put in play.
And Ichiro will try to do just that as he leads off. Laurie is in on the grass at third. The pitch is high. 1-0. Ichiro 1 hit in his last 9 at bats. And now 2 for his last 10 as he lines a single to right field.
You know, Michael, every time we spout off a statistic where somebody's 1 for his last 30, and then he gets a hit, I say, oh, he's 1 for his last 1 now.
And the Yankees are off and running. Go yap about today's game on Sports Yapper, free on all iPhones and Androids.
Well, it is all about stats, right, Kenny?
Well.
Who's got a big streak, no streak, somebody who hasn't pitched well against the team. They ended up getting the job done.
It adds up at the end of the year, Al. You know that.
All right, so then when I say that Nick Swisher is hitless in his last 10 at bats,
that's not good.
And he's also 5 for his last 47. That's why his average has dipped from 280 to 255.
He's due.
What's going on with the eye black? It almost looks like he's got a Batman vibe going on there.
At least there's nothing written on it.
That's true. Yunel Escobar suspended for this 3-game set because of a regretful homophobic slur that he had on his eye black the other day. And Nick Swisher goes down. Oof.
Al, you ever foul a ball off your foot?
In batting practice. Never would somebody throw 94 mile an hour.
Okay, it feels like you just stand there and drop a brick on your foot. That's what it feels like.
Take a hammer and sledge.
Exactly. It's no fun whatsoever. You see Nick hitting the turf right away, roll it over.
Well, he got it good, too.
Yeah, he did.
So as they check out Nick, we'll take a look at the Blue Jays defense, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealer. Goes Rasmus and Davis left to right in the outfield. It's Laurie, Echeverria, Vizquel, and Lynn third to first. Mathis is behind the plate. Alvarez is on the mound.
Nick's still feeling the after effects of that foul ball.
You know where I go as a pitcher?
It's right back in there.
Right back in there.
The only time I was on the DL because of one of those, fouling a ball off my foot.
One.
Well, the thing about Alvarez, he's a ground ball pitcher. When he's on, 61% of the outs are on the ground because he didn't strike out many. So that means he keeps the ball down, decent sinker, but when he's off, and he's given up 26 home runs this year, so he's not overpowering. The ball will go a long way.
2-2.
Although 94 is pretty good.
Well, you know what, Kenny, talking to some of the folks who've seen every one of his starts this year, he'll get it up to 96, 97, and if you look at, there you go, ground ball, fly ball outs, and 26 home runs, as Kenny said. Here's a guy that is, I think, blessed and also cursed with a great arm. When you have a arm that can throw 95, 96, 97 miles an hour, he's mostly fastball change, but there's many instances during this year where he just throws the ball. Ball elevates, good big league hitters, they square it up.
But with the ability to throw the ball, as you say, 94 and upwards of 97 at times, 12% of his outs are just strike. It should be a lot higher than that.
With the velocity that he shows, I think the only thing I can think of, and haven't seen all of his starts, is that he is very predictable. When his ball is elevated, as Ichiro just hit a base hit to right, the ball doesn't sink. You let the ball elevate. He has 2 pitches, fastball change and a very occasional slider. There's a change up there. So now if the Yankee hitters can eliminate a pitch and just look for a fastball, much better chance.
Well, we'll see if they send Ichiro now. 3-2 with nobody out. Swisher does strike out, but Ichiro does lead the team when you combine his numbers with the Mariners in stolen bases. The Yankee stolen base leader is Alex Rodriguez with 13. There he goes. Line drive, base hit to right center field. Ichiro around second. He'll go to third. Rasmus gets the ball in quickly. And Nick Swisher is limping, but he got himself a hit. And he broke his 0 for 10 slide.
See, he's 1 for his last one. And it always will put a smile on your face. Chases Ichiro to third. Ichiro's on the move. Solid single in right center. No problem for Ichiro as he cruises into third base. The Yankees are in business here in the bottom of the first inning. And here's Nick. That foot's feeling a lot better after a base hit.
Now he's telling Lynn where he got hit. All right, so first and third, nobody out. And here is Robinson Cano. Count 1-0.
So Alvarez kind of true to form. Gives up a lot of hits. Giving up 2 hits the first 2 batters. 2 more, and it's an even 200 on the season.
Now, one of the ways that you get to a team like the Blue Jays, score early. Make them get their mind out of it. The Yankees didn't do that when they were in Boston. Each game was tight, and the Red Sox started to believe, hey, we're in a game, and played hard. But if you can get on the board early a lot, there's a good chance they'll fold the 10. Lined into center field, and it's over the head of Rasmus, and it goes up against the wall. Ichiro scores. Nick Swisher limps to third. He'll stop there. And a double for Cano, and the Yankees have a 1-0 lead.
Well, again, all these pitches up. The Yankees doing a nice job against Alvarez, just staying on the baseball, center of the field. Watch this sinker, supposed to be down. Again, a guy who gets a lot of ground ball outs up in the zone. Kenny had in the scout report what left-handers have been hitting against Alvarez. I think Rasmus, I don't know, that ball straight at the center fielder with a little line drive to it. Kind of came in, froze, didn't get a good jump. Not a very good play.
Toughest ball for an outfielder is the line drive directly at him. You don't know. Sometimes you take a false step forward, and if you do that on a ball hit like the one Cano just hit, you're going to be in trouble.
Well, that double has Robinson Cano break a tie with Tony Lazzeri. He's now 11th on the all-time list, and he's 11 behind Bill Dickey. Alex Rodriguez takes the strike as the Blue Jays play the infield back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball, but Alex is thinking bigger than that.
A-Rod's got a couple of runners in scoring position. We talk about all-time records, and A-Rod's 2 RBIs behind Stan Musial on the all-time list. Stan the man. And there they are.
Dribbled slowly to first. Nick Swisher's coming home. He'll score. Lynn touches up. Moving to third is Cano, and the Yankees lead 2-0. And that'll bring up Curtis Granderson, which brings us to our Delta League leaders. You've got Granderson with 39 home runs. Josh Hamilton is first with 42. Cabrera and Encarnacion tied with 40. So Granderson and Dunn with 39 are certainly within striking distance.
You know, I know Alex got 1 RBI there, so he moves up within 1 of Stan Musial, but it looked to me like he was trying to hit the ball to the right side.
Infield is in now for Granderson. And there's a strike. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Well, over the weekend, Alex was very vocal, or quoted as talking about a very good inning that the Yankees, you know, talking about production, small ball. There was base hit, stolen base, moved a runner, eventually a home run in the inning. Had every element to small ball to the home run.
High fly ball, center field. Rasmus is there. Tagging is Cano. The catch is made. Here's the throw. And Cano is in there, just barely. Just barely. A sac fly for Granderson. And the Yankees now lead 3-0.
Wow. I don't know about what you were seeing here, guys, but I thought this was plenty deep enough to score. Cano just getting in there. Jeff Mathis couldn't hold the ball. I think the ball may have beaten Cano.
Let's take a look and see if he never caught the ball. And does Cano touch it? Yeah, it appeared so with the left hand. didn't think that was going to be a close play.
Nope. It was a deep fly ball to center.
Martin fouls it back.
Here's another look. Mathis, in his haste to catch the ball, make the tag, never catches the ball. You got to do that first. And Cano definitely touched home plate with his left hand.
Pitch outside, 1-1. Foul back, 1-2.
Well, there's that production, Michael, talking about putting a team that's been struggling, the Blue Jays, behind 3-zip for Andy Pettit. It's a nice little lead. A-Rod, a little push, ground ball to the right side, score run. Then you get the sacrifice fly from Granderson.
Swing and a miss. Martin down on strikes. But the Yankee bats come alive here in the first inning. First game of a day-night doubleheader. Ichiro starts it off with a single. Another single by Swisher. Cano then doubles. Come with sac flies, ground ball. 3-0 Yanks. Today's question is, what is more taxing to a team? Is it playing a doubleheader or playing 18 innings in one game? You can text your vote to 42951. Standard text messaging rates apply.
Do you lose the 18 inning game?
So you think it's more taxing for the Mariners last night than the Orioles?
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. You play that long, you better win the game.
No.
That win by the Orioles, and most of the people watching right now were probably sleeping at that point. That's their 14th straight win in extra innings. They started the season by losing their first 2 extra inning games. They've won 14 in a row since then, and that's the reason they're in a tie for first place, is their ability to win close games and to win extra inning games. And at the rate that they're winning these games, they're defying odds. You're just not supposed to do that.
When they get the ball in the hands of Jim Johnson, their closer, it's usually a done deal.
It's a nice move, too. Brian Mattis has done a nice job since being put in the pen.
Yes. Good lefty out of the pen.
Aaron O'Day, Stroke, they have some good arms leading up to a very good closer.
I think in last night's ball game, they gave up a home run early in the game to Miguel Olivo and didn't give up another run after that.
Here's the 2-2 to Mathis. Fouled away.
The game, in fact, they tied the game in the 9th inning with 1 out in the 9th. Chris, I wasn't up listening or watching, but
we wouldn't judge you poorly if you were.
No, but I'm saying, am I going to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
The game ended at 20 minutes to 4 this morning.
East Coast time.
Yes.
Wow, look at this right here, guys. Let's see. Russell Martin setting up in. I don't know if that ball's down or not. Had plate coverage. Joe wanted it.
21st pitch for Andy. Ground ball to second. Cano. Andy Pettit told me late last week that if the Yankees were not in a close race right now, he would not be starting. They are rushing this now because they are in a close race. He said if we were running away with things, I'd probably do another simulated game and take my time coming back. But we're pushing the issue just a little bit. Although I'm fine, he said we are pushing it to start me when we are because we're in a tight pennant race. Which is funny because you have a guy who's rehabbing and you need these games. Is he your best chance to win these games?
Well, if he could get to 70 pitches and keep his pitch count down per inning, and that could get him through 5, I think absolutely. It surprises me a little bit, Michael, that he said that, because having been on rehab assignments, especially when you're older and more established, that I couldn't wait to get back.
Well, he wants to be back, but he thinks that they would not allow him to pitch now unless it was a pennant race.
Well, they probably, my guess is that you always want to get your rehab guy to be able to throw 100 pitches. You try to. And that's what you try to get up to 100 pitches. That's 6+.
You know, when the Yankees were really rolling just before Andy's injury, they had Sabathia, Kuroda, Phil Hughes, Nova, and Pettit. From May 10th through June 28th, they went 30-15 with those 5 guys starting. And now they've got Nova back, they got Andy Pettit back. And I'm not saying, well, there's not that many games left in the season, but the fact is they get some sort of roll like that one, they'll be okay.
There's a strike, 3-2.
Hughes has been good.
Yeah.
Start at Boston was very good, maybe his best one of the year.
Kuroda's been the best. CeCe's given up leads, which means he's had leads to work with, and I don't see him doing that forever.
And a walk to Moises Sierra, the second walk issued by Pettit. This is the way the rotation will play out through this next time around. Phelps is going to start tonight. Hughes, who was supposed to start the one game today, has been moved to tomorrow, and everybody gets moved up one. Sabathia on Friday, Nova Saturday, and Kuroda on Sunday. Now, the only thing that the rain out does to the Yankees, as Vizquel lost one to right field, Ibanez makes the play, is it does rob them of the opportunity, unless they want to pitch him one time on short rest, of having Andy Pettit get that 4th rehab start in, so to speak. And then he would definitely be built up way over 100 pitches. So now if there is a 4th start, it's going to be in the playoffs.
That's true, but one thing the Yankees have going for, they have 6 guys capable of starting. And to me, I don't know how you feel about this, but I can see 6-man rotations coming in the future. I can really see that happen.
Almost what they have in Japan.
Yeah, similar to that. And I think that it would cut each, if you go through the season, each starter healthy would get 27 starts.
Well, you know what? I'm trying to digest that, because here, we went from 4-man rotation for 3 days rest to 5-man, and that was supposed to be a big deal for pitchers today who can't handle to only pitch on 4 days. And knowing how I felt, I'm just trying to think if I was a starting pitcher, knowing that it'd be every 6 days, I think your routine would change to where you just get more side days.
You have to throw twice.
You have to throw twice for sure. I know I played with Tommy John, who always had 2 side days because he wanted to get the feel of the ball. Tommy Glavine, he also had 2 side days. Guys usually that didn't throw as hard would have 2 sides. Get used to it. I don't think I'd like it. I think the routine of 4 days off was enough to get ready and be 100%.
That one is lofted to right field. It is a base hit off the bat of Echeverria. Ibanez will throw the ball in the second, moving to third is Sierra. That's the first hit against Andy Pettit.
My point being, wouldn't it cut down on injury because you'd have more rest in between starts?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about how many guys get an extra day through the course of a season, it may get you down to that 30 starts. You miss maybe 4 starts. 34 starts would be a healthy full season. Managers
are trying to do that now, give guys an extra day. It already would be built into the rotation.
Here's Anthony Goes. Runners on first and third. And Pettit deals. There's a strike.
Moises Sierra, the runner at first base, there was no hesitation. Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, just waved him immediately. Raul Ibanez didn't make the throw.
This player goes to the plate as gaining a reputation as one of the fastest players in the league. He's stolen 15 bases in 39 games. The Blue Jays rookie record is 21 stolen bases by Alfredo Griffin in 1979, but he had 153 games to do that.
1-1. 2-1.
Talk about an athlete, Kenny. This guy threw 92 to 97 miles an hour in high school. Outfielder and also track and field.
Tries to drag bunt. Foul ball. Take a look at today's MetLife stat of the game. This one's on Andy. Andy Pettitte 85 and 37 all time against American League East opponents. And that's the highest winning percentage in Major League Baseball with a minimum of 75 decisions. Not too bad.
Yep, 21 and 12 against the Toronto Blue Jays in his career.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. We're in the second inning, 3-0 Yanks. So far, doesn't seem to be any ill effects on Andy's injury. Suffered on the 27th. Casey Kotzman with a comebacker. Andy might have set himself back because he really pushed himself about a month ago when the Yankees, maybe even a little more than that. The Yankees were in Seattle and he was really working hard. He thought he felt great. Then they took another x-ray and the healing was not at the rate that it was supposed to. He set himself back by pushing too hard. So that's part of the rehab, is knowing when to take a step back. Runner will go from first, 3-2. Foul back. There always seems to be a natural order of things. You see, when guys have Tommy John surgery, well, I'll get back before anybody. I feel great. It's always going to be about a year. It's just the way nature is. You're going to have a certain healing period that you have to adhere to. This will be the 38th pitch for Andy. The runner will go, the 3-2. That one is chopped to first. Swisher is there. Beats goes to the bag for the final out of the second. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Chavez will lead it off. And by Resident Evil, Retribution in 3D now playing in theaters. How about this, Kenny? How often do you see the 3 Z's coming up?
Yeah.
Chavez, Ibanez, and Nunez.
Yeah, right out of ZZ Top.
Except it's ZZ on the bottom.
Yeah.
Chavez takes a strike.
The first of its kind, the EZs.
And then if you go back to the top of the lineup, you've got 4 guys with Z's in their name. I believe, I'm going to check with Elias, that's the first time in baseball history you've had 4 players with Z's in their name in a row. You want to work on that, Al?
Get right on it, yeah. Let's call Elias. I'm sure they'll be happy about that. Throw in a W, too. This would be a heck of a
Scrabble game, yeah. Chavez lofts one to right field. Rajay Davis makes the play for the first out.
There's one Z.
There's another Z. Alvarez. Here's Ibanez. He has really struggled of late. Hitless in his last 16 at bats, 2 for his last 43. He really did so much for the Yankees in the first half. But because of the injuries, they probably played him a little bit more than they wanted to. And I think he's worn down a bit. He's 40 years old. And the injury to Brett Gardner forced both Ibanez and Jones to have to play the field. Now, speaking of Gardner, he is not activated today. People were wondering if he might be. But with a doubleheader, the Yankees thought they would need the pitchers they have. They could still add him anyway. But they decided to wait another day. Ground ball to the shortstop. Echeverria throws out Ibanez for the second out. And the roster move corresponding with Andy Pettitte coming off the DL. Andy was on the 60-day DL, which means he didn't have to be on the 40-man roster. So coming into this game, the Yankees were at the full 40-man. They had to move somebody off the 40-man to make room on for Andy. And what they did was Dylan Betances went on the 60-day DL. So when you're on the 60, you move off the 40. So just clerical, but they didn't have to lose a player because they activated Andy. A couple of the core 4, Derek Jeter and Mariano, as Nunez takes a strike.
Yeah, I had a chat with Robbie Thompson prior to yesterday's rainout. Brett Gardner was out here doing his running.
High fly ball. Rasmus is there, but he gets called off by Davis, and that'll do it. So see you later. 1, 2, 3 with the Z's. We go to the third. 3-0 Yanks. Yankees extra innings will start at 6:30. Then tomorrow night, Yankees and the Jays duel in the series finale here in the Bronx. And our coverage will start at 6 with Audi batting practice today and the Tri-State Ford pregame. And Al, Kenny, and I are back here at the stadium for all the action, and it's only on Yes. Pitch outside to Davis. Lincoln scoreboard 3-0 Yankees. Count 2-1.
Well, this is a guy you want to keep off base. He's second in the league in stolen bases with 44, just 2 behind Mike Trout of the Angels. Sensational rookie. And Davis has the most stolen bases for Blue Jays since, what's the name out of the past? Shannon Stewart. He had 51 steals back in 1998.
And the 3-2. Foul back. Blue Jays 30-41 on the road, but they've won 4 in a row on the road and 5 of their last 6.
This is their final road trip of the season. Got 3 stops.
Fly ball down the right field line, and it is a foul ball. Well, the Blue Jays have been a disappointment this year, and major reason is the injuries. They lost Jose Bautista right here at the stadium on a foul ball down the left field line. Wrist injury. David Cooper bat. Jay Happ foot. Dustin McGowan shoulder. Santos is supposed to be the closer. Shoulder. Kyle Drabeck elbow. Drew Hutchinson elbow. Jesse Litt shoulder. That one is off the glove of Chavez. And Nunez fields, but it's going to be a base hit for Davis. Let's see if Chavez is okay. Don't know how much of his arm that got, but that was a hot shot.
Might have hit him just above the glove, maybe in the wrist. Let's take a look. Yep, right above the heel of the glove, off the wrist. That was a hot shot off the bat of Davis. Overspin on it, comes up. And Davis is going to be on with an infield single. That's why it's the hot corner.
Here's Rasmus. He walked in the first inning.
Good matchup with Petto on the mound and Davis on base. And he can hold runners as well as anybody. One of the best pickoff moves ever. Runners are certainly aware of it. That's about his Z move.
C, D, Z. There. What makes Andy so difficult to read is that his leg kick puts him in positions where he can stay balanced, see the runner at first as to whether he wants to go over or not, and if not, he goes home. It's tough to do where the way he picks his knee.
He was quicker that time to the plate.
A slide step. Such a big part of the game, and you may not think much of keeping runners at first base, but the aspect of obviously not having runners to get to second base easily, base hit to the outfield, possible run score. He's done such a good job in his career. Just keeping it a one-way lead, while Rajay Davis with the 44 stolen bases, he's been caught 11 times, so a little bit reckless, or in the sense that maybe a guess runner, pick a spot, just go.
One. High fly ball, deep right. Backing up is Ibanez on the track. He'll make the play in front of the scoreboard for the first out. Davis heads back to first. Told you about the 44 stolen bases for Davis. 2 behind Trout, 10 ahead of Ben Revere.
I mean, you look at this team, Michael, and I know we just showed the list of the injuries, and that's part of baseball. The Yankees had their injuries, and you could go right down the list. But when you lose 3/5 of your rotation, as you said earlier, within a week, and now Jose Bautista, who's been out much of the second half, Encarnacion goes down. It's just been one major position after another. It's been real tough for John Farrell. And I think there were a lot of people who thought that obviously they'd have been much more competitive than they've been this year. Brett Lawrie had that tough play, fell over in the camera well here at the stadium, hurt his oblique.
Yeah, he was out for a while. He was on the DL.
Yeah, there's some teams they can't overcome it. You know, closer, 3 of your starters, 2 of your best hitters.
If you go back to June, they were in the race.
Yes.
And then all the injuries started to pile up, and that's when John Farrell's club kind of fell out of it.
Ground ball to first, knocked down by Swisher, and he throws it past Pettit and up against the screen in front of the Yankee dugout. So Lawrie reaches and Davis moves to third.
I think Nick would have been better off holding on to that one and not throwing it, because he made a wild throw. They still would have had runners at first and second. But instead, when he throws it away, Davis is able to go all the way to third. It would have been tough play just to get Lawrie. Just the difficulty of the play itself, sometimes it tells you just hold on to the ball. In and out of the glove. And at this point, just about no play.
You know, off the bat, Kenny, I don't know what you saw. He gets jammed. It goes inside out. See Andy Pettit, be careful there with that leg. I mean, that was easily a play for Swisher to have made. And watching the previous hot smash, I know Davis hit the hard ball to Chavez, but you know, day game, sunshine, see all the eye black that Nick Swisher's sporting. Maybe tough to see off the bat.
This is tough on Nick. He got not one but 2 errors on the play. One for missing the ball and one for throwing it away.
When you think about it, that's legitimate.
Yeah, it is.
Because you know, you can't compare people with Mark Teixeira, who's outstanding, but that's an inning-ending double play. And that wasn't even that tough of a play. And Nick would be the first one to tell you that. This could be an inning-ending double play. There's one. And there's two. Cano took his time to make sure he got a good throw off. And that'll do it here in the third. No runs, a hit, 2 errors, and 1 man left. Go to the bottom of the third. Pettit likes what he sees. Take on the A's. The first 18,000 guests 14 and younger are going to receive a CC Sabathia poster courtesy of Catch 24 Advertising. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. How perfect with the rain out yesterday. Now CC starts the day that it's CC Sabathia poster day. Can't plan it any better. Lincoln scoreboard, 3-0 Yankees, bottom of the third inning. Line drive, base hit to left field. Ichiro's 2 for 2.
You know what's appropriate about that? Because every day you broadcast, there seems to be a K somewhere along the line. There's a line shot off the bat of Ichiro, his second line drive hit of the game. last time it set off a 3-run rally back in the first inning. There's the style of Ichiro. He pulled the first one. This one he slashes through the hole between third and short. He's off and running, so to speak.
That right there reminded me of pure hitters. It goes back to maybe a Tony Gwynn or somebody who just has great play coverage. And wherever the ball is thrown, he's going to hit it hard. You mentioned the first at bat. He pulls the ball. That ball's running away. A little 94 mile an hour sink. Just a magician with the bat.
What did Tony used to call that hole between third and short? The 5.5 hole. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. The amount of times that I was able to face him, he had a look that he was going to hit the ball hard no matter what you threw, where it was, location-wise.
He couldn't strike him out.
Couldn't strike him out. And the scout report against him, and I think Ichiro would be the same because not a home run guy.
Fly ball left field. Goes fighting the sun. Ichiro tags, draws the throw, but he'll head back.
I know Ichiro's aging, and when he first came here from Japan, I mean, just amazing. Just hit the ball hard every time. And often with scout reports, guys with hot are able to handle the bat, just make sure there's nobody out in front of them.
I think we should explain what the 5.5 hole is. Each position has a number. Shortstop being number 6, third base 5. So if you put it right between them, it's 5.5. And that's what Tony would call it, the 5.5 hole. Pitcher's number 1, catcher number 2, first baseman number 3, second base number 4. That's when you're scoring.
Cano swings and misses. Cano had an RBI double over the head of Rasmus in center field. That was in the first inning.
And the outfielders are 7, 8, 9 from left to right.
Let me write that down. No, you're right. Often you do the games, and there's some folks out there that might not know that.
Like Paul O'Neill.
Oh my goodness.
All right, for 5.5. So here's Kenny. Where is that? About a 5.5 right there?
That's about it.
Maybe a little bit farther to the left. Actually, he's playing in 5.5 hole.
Laurie's playing
right
in the 5.5 hole.
That's another thing that has changed greatly over the years, Kenny.
Scoring?
No. Watching Laurie playing in 5.5 hole, the amount of shifting that goes on for most every player. In some cases, it's very dramatic, like Teixeira. Or in this case, you have a little bit for Cano pulling the third baseman toward the shortstop.
Well, he's a line-to-line hitter, Cano. Not this time, though.
He swings and misses for the second out.
Nice changeup right here. Alvarez is settling in somewhat. His fastball has been down a little bit more after that first inning. Again, he's a fastball, changeup pitcher, occasional breaking ball.
Here's A-Rod. Ground out. RBI in the first inning. Pitch outside. 1-0.
A-Rod, with the career numbers he's built up, and you go against the opponents, and he's got great numbers just about against every team that the Yankees play, including 54 home runs against Toronto.
Is that number 1?
54 homers against Toronto. That's a lot of trotting.
Now, as I'm hearing the 50, what'd you say, 51?
54.
54. And I'm looking up on the Jumbotron here that 647 trots for Alex leading all major league players.
You know what? On this 3-0 pitch, I'd turn him loose.
Let him go?
Yeah, let him go for it.
Elevate that fastball. Up
2 outs? Come on. Maybe 2 quick runs.
There's a strike. He's actually hit more home runs against the Angels than anybody, 70, and 59 against the Orioles.
Those years with Seattle and Texas, I guess that cranked that Angel number.
He was thinking 2 runs.
Nice changeup. Talking to John Farrell about Henderson Alvarez, is, you know, when you look at guys with very good stuff, and I consider a guy throwing 95 or better stuff-wise, arm strength, good stuff. And he said that he matched up with his hero, or his idol, King Felix, up in Toronto. And I guess they had spoken. He said his changeup has been better because he's throwing it faster. The pitch he struck out Cano was 90, and there's another changeup at 89.
Runner will go. 3-2, 2 outs. Strike 3. A-Rod down looking, and he knew it. No runs to hit, no errors, and 1 man left. Andy Pettitte continues his comeback start. Goes to the 4th inning up 3-0. Has 6 seasons with 40 or more doubles. Who's the only Yankee with 7 of those seasons? That's a very nice seat that gentleman has. There's a strike to Mathis. When that train pulls out, his seat is done. I think he's on that train. All right, so the story of this game is obviously Pettitte coming back. How's he look so far, Al?
Very good. You know, the idea that it looks smooth out of his hand. He's only had the 1 inning that a little bit of pitch count issue, 24 in the 2nd inning. Got out of it obviously with the 0 runs for Toronto. I think really just watching Andy, and I think what happens when you know your velocity is not the same, and his velocity is a tick down or 2 from a few years ago. He averaged a little over 90 miles an hour. This year, before his injury, is about 89. Doesn't sound like much, but it's a mile or 2, and especially when you want to let it go. Pitches like that right there, a little backdoor slider. He's got the ability, and it's comfortable, Michael. In my opinion, Kenny, I don't know what you see. It's just a very smooth delivery. A guy that is comfortable and confident where he can make his pitches, and he stays away from the middle of the plate. I think that the backdoor cutter, slider, and then his patented in on the back foot to the right-hander, and it's just that back and forth. And it just looks very easy to me.
Moises Sierra loops one to right field. It's a base hit. Ibanez will field. Sierra makes a big turn. And the throw comes into second. Sierra stops with a single.
Sierra aggressive. He gets jammed here. This is just an excuse me jam shot up in the zone. You see him pull his hands in. Gets enough to get out right field and aggressively turns and has a secondary lead to provoke the throw from Ibanez.
You know, maybe one of the pluses, if there is such a thing with Bautista being injured, is that Sierra's getting some playing time. Today at DH, but he's also played some right field. So they've gotten a chance to look at this youngster, Sierra, and I think he's got some potential. Now you go from the youngster Sierra to the veteran of Vizquel.
45 years old. 2,872 hits. 2,873 hits as he singles to right. So first and second with one out.
And what he did with that hit, he just tied Babe Ruth on the all-time hit list. Wow.
Melada's next.
Not bad.
He's retiring at the end of this year, so he will fall short of 3,000, but he's probably a Hall of Famer without that number, without that milestone.
Yeah, you tossing, what, 10 gold gloves, Michael? Yeah.
Well, if Ozzie Smith is in, he's a modern-day Ozzie Smith. I think Ozzie had better moments offensively.
Echeverria takes outside, 1-0. Speaking of great shortstops, the Blue Jays think that this guy is going to be unbelievable. Great hands, great range, strong arm. Grounded to Swisher. There's one, and Andy did not get over to cover, so that's all they get.
Well, with a foot race between Andy Pettitte and Echeverria, I'd take Echeverria on that, even though he didn't get a good jump. You see where Swisher is way off the line, perfectly placed. He breaks late now. It becomes his foot race against a guy who's much faster than you. Watch here.
Yeah, you can see Echeverria already halfway down the line. Andy wasn't going to beat him, and these are the things that Andy's going to get better at during these starts, because it's the side things, peripheral things. Not like you can throw the ball, throw strikes, but covering first base, backing up bases, things like that. That's what spring training's all about.
Also, I would. Maybe we get a chance to see the replay on that. You know, you are just so conditioned with balls hit, you just know where your fielders are. That, to me, almost looked like a ball that where Cano would have been, and I think his hesitation might have been thinking that was a ground ball to second. There's the angle from the pitcher's mound. You see where the ground balls hit as to whether it's straight up to the first baseman. Watch how far off the line Swisher is. Maybe he was unaware of how far the ball was and thinking maybe my second baseman has no excuse. He knows he's got to be there.
Count 1-1. This might be his last inning as he's climbing towards 70 pitches. They don't care about wins or losses at this point. That's why Derek Lowe is getting ready. You have to go 5 to get the win, but that's the Yankees' least concern for Andy. They want to get the win for the team, but not for Andy Pettitte. 1-2.
Well, you're probably right, Michael, and I think there's got to be a little piece of Andy knowing that, pitch count being where it is. This is his biggest pitch of the day.
First and third, 2 outs. Top of the 4th inning, 3-0 Yankees. The 1-2 to goes. 2-2. Andy did hint that there's a chance he'll pitch next year. He thought he was coming back for 1 season, but he thought he was coming back for 1 season of about 28 starts, something like that. He didn't know he was going to be shelved with an injury. That one is chopped to short. Nunez will flip to second, and Andy Pettitte, if that's his last pitch, threw 67 and did not allow a run and allowed just 4 hits. Pretty good comeback from the DL as we go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 Yanks. seasons with 40 or more doubles? Who's the only Yankee with 7 seasons? Pitches high to Granderson. The answer is
Lou Gehrig? Yeah.
It is the Iron Horse.
Yeah. He was an extra base hit machine.
What about Donnie? I wonder where Mattingly was in there.
They said Lou Gehrig hit balls by outfielders like most guys hit them by infielders. That's how hard he hit the ball. Outfielders start right away running for the fence to cut the ball off.
Now Mathis wants to go out and talk with Alvarez. You know, we mentioned yesterday's rainout. Very interesting. Mother Nature has been on baseball's side this year. Yesterday, there were 3 rainouts. There have been 19 postponed games all year. Last year, there were 54. So just an amazing drop. I remember last year, early in the season, it seemed like every day was a rainout somewhere.
Bring your umbrella.
Yep. The Yankees had a lot of backed up doubleheaders in the second half. And with an older team, that wears against you. The Yankees, I think, have had this is only their second doubleheader all season. And the other one was in Boston in July. So it's been a great weather year. The 0-2. 1-2.
Didn't the Yankees win both games in that doubleheader in Boston?
I believe so.
Yeah. One of them was the big comeback.
And the pitch. Now, the people that had tickets to last night's game, those tickets could be used for this afternoon's game. But, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people plan to go to night games, but they have work. That's why there's somewhat of a sparse crowd here. It's hard to make that adjustment in your schedule at work. But they expect a big crowd tonight in the second game. The 1-2. Drill to right field. Rajai Davis right there. One away.
You mentioned about the doubles that went to the outfield for Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
And I threw out the I wonder where Donnie is. The proverbial question that I don't have the answer. 4.
40 double seasons.
4 double seasons.
He could rake too.
Here's Russell Martin against Alvarez, who has settled down since the first inning. Pitch outside, 1-0.
You know, listen to me about the weather, and it has been spectacular. Hopefully that's not a prelude for a bad winter. But nothing worse than to sit for long, multiple rain delays. You take a rain out in a doubleheader, like what happened last night. It was called early enough. Guys could get home, have a dinner, and get here and know that this is going to be a 10-hour day. As opposed to sit through, you know, the window of an hour or two. That
there wasn't much of a window last night.
No. No, it was
now that was an accurate rain out by both the Yankees and the Mets because both teams are in town, and the weather was dreadful last night. The wind, you couldn't have played in the wind. There's a ground ball to second. Vizquel for the second out.
You were keeping the windows shut last night if you were around here somewhere.
But it's turned into a beautiful day today. And that will bring up Eric Chavez. And a strike.
Well, Alvarez settled down, huh? After the 3 runs in the first inning. A couple singles and a double, and then we had a little situation of small ball, sacrifice fly. Now here, just settled in to only 51 pitches. It looks like Andy's going to be going out for another inning.
Nobody warming up in the pen.
Well, I guess that 70 pitch count was a little fluid. Here we are at 68 pitches.
Swing and a miss, and Alvarez dials it up to 95 miles an hour. He's retired the last 6 Yankees in a row. Andy is coming out for a 5th inning of work, so that means he feels pretty good as he leads 3-0. Yankees lead. Do you know that Bob does not leave the studio till the last West Coast game is over, so he didn't leave until that game was over.
My goodness.
Even if he's off the air, it's just that's his commitment. Even though it was a rain out, he sat there and watched all the games.
Some kind of dedication.
He's unbelievable. The 0-1 to Davis. Sign foul.
Somebody's got to eat all that chocolate in his office.
A little surprised he's come out now he's at 70 pitches. Are you surprised he's pitching this inning?
Well, I'm surprised because that's all we heard, right? 55 to 70 pitches. Here he is at that mark, and well, the guess is he's made it look real easy. And Joe's saying, "Hey, I'll give you an opportunity. Keep the pitch count down. If you get in trouble, I'm going to come and get you."
Well, so far he's shown the escapability that Andy Pettit's had over the years. The Blue Jays have left men on in every inning, but they have not dented the scoreboard.
The 1-2. Strike 3. Davis down looking.
This was kind of my point at the beginning. Was when we're all about pitch counts and innings, and I won't go on the Strasburg angle here, but there's different ways that you get there, Kenny, and moments for pitchers. There's some 100-pitch games where you just felt like it was a battle, and then there's others you just didn't feel like you were working. It was coming out of your hand nicely, and no problems. There weren't stressful innings.
Feel like you could pitch the next day.
You can pitch the next day.
Rasmus takes inside. You can see there taking us pitch by pitch, that long conversation between Girardi and Rothschild. The more pitches he throws here, the closer he is to being a full-fledged starter, even by his next start. If he gets to 75 or 80, then he's close to a 100-pitch pitcher his next time out. So Derek Lowe is ready. And Rapata is going to join him. There's a ground ball to second. Rasmus is out. 1 out away, Andy is, from being eligible for a win. Joe might have told him, you give me a 1-2-3 inning, you'll stay out there for the inning. If anybody gets on, I think they'd probably go to the pen. But they fooled us before. Here's Brett Lawrie. How about that? A ground ball to Nunez, and Andy Pettitte gives the Yankees 5 shutout innings in his return to the rotation. Pitching for the first time since June 27th, the 40-year-old has been splendid. How you voted. 70% say playing 18 innings in a game. 30% think playing a doubleheader. Ibanez lost one to left field. Battling the sun as goes, and he puts it away, fighting it all the way into the glove for the first out.
A lot of ex-ball players out there, huh, Kenny? The 18, they're right on. 18-inning games. You're just waiting for the big hit that doesn't come.
I would think it would have been in the Kia scoreboard 3-0 Yankees. It would have been incredibly boring for a starting pitcher that didn't pitch either game of a doubleheader. I mean, what do you do?
There was a lot of killing time in the food room.
You can write a book.
Pacing back and forth, cups of coffee.
Cheering your teammates on.
Cheering your teammates on, no doubt about it.
That's big when you're starting pitcher, right?
Yeah.
It's got to come out with the
I'll tell you,
pom-poms.
I think that's a big component of a good team with good chemistry. Is you have your starting pitchers that aren't pitching that night to spend most of the time in the dugout.
Because you want your guys to play hard when you're out there.
Sounds rather, yeah, but there's a lot of teams that I played on where some of the guys, they come out a few innings and that's it. Some managers let their pitchers that aren't pitching that night to get work in the training room, or get extra cardio, or do their cuff weights, or whatever.
Or get chicken,
beer.
Apparently, somewhere.
pitch inside to Nunez, 2-2. This is the reception that Pettit got in the dugout. Well, the Yankees have to be extraordinarily pleased.
Combined Andy start with Ivan Nova's start in victory the other day. I think, and with the way Alex Rodriguez has been hitting since he's come back off the DL, I just think it's a big boost to the Yankee fortunes going into the last month of the season here.
It's Andy Pettit. Here's a guy that's done it for a long time that can look to. And I agree with what you said there, Kenny, that when you have Nova come back, he pitched well. It looks like Phil Hughes is in a nice spot. Kuroda's been consistent all year.
Good CC, just a little bit over the hump here. He's very close. And good pitching is contagious, just like good hitting is on a team. The guy before he pitches a good game, you want to come out and have a good game.
Nunez grounds one to short. Echeverria, the long throw. 2 outs. Boy, Alvarez has really settled down.
Did you get a look at the Echeverria's arm there?
Yes.
Looked very impressive.
Well, he had to be with Nunez scooting down the line. I felt that way, Kenny. You're right. When other starting pitchers were dominant, I wanted to keep the baton moving.
And nobody wants to be the weak link.
No.
Ichiro takes a strike. He's 2 for 2 today with a run scored. 2 singles, 1 to right, 1 to left. Count 0-2.
You know what he's done, Michael? Henderson Alvarez starting to throw a little bit of this slider. He's got 3 pitches and a 95 sink. Good pitch there, 95. You look at guys, going over series and watching, and you see the numbers that aren't reflective. Guys got almost an ERA at 5, and 9 and 12. You could say, okay, maybe not a whole lot of run support. That's a good pitch right there. A little comeback, 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yankees go down in order, and Ichiro did not love that call. We go to the 6th. Yankees will try to work the final 4 out of the bullpen. They lead 3-0. Mazda pitcher profile.
Well, he was very good. The 5 innings, I think a little bit of a surprise. He was under that 70 pitch count. I thought he changed speeds well on his breaking pitch. He actually threw some nice changeups, a little bit of trouble there, covered first base, a backdoor slider. Rajay Davis, 75 pitches, had a 7-pitch inning that last inning. Very impressive from Andy Pettitte.
Well, Joe Girardi has to breathe a sigh of relief. They really need Pettitte. You know, we told you with the rain out, the impact that it does have on what would have been his 4th start. As Clay Rapata deals a strike to Adam Lynn, Joe Girardi does have to make the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. And it brings on Clay Rapata, his 66th game. Here's the impact that a lot of people aren't looking at. Yankees are not out of the woods yet when it comes to the American League East, because Baltimore continues to win. Right now they're essentially tied, although there's a difference in games. If in fact there's a 1-game playoff, Andy Pettitte is the guy that's lined up to start that game, because the 1-game playoff would be next, the Thursday after that final Wednesday against the Boston Red Sox. Because unlike in the old days, if a team was tied for the lead and a wild card, they would just have head-to-head record, because it wouldn't be that much of a difference. Now there's a huge difference between winning the AL East and being a wild card team. They'd have to play a 1-game playoff game. Up the middle and a base hit for Adam Lynn against Rapata.
Well, there's his one and done. Rapata's job was to get Adam Lynn, didn't get it done.
So Joe Girardi will go for the right-hander. Rapata comes in, does not get the job done. He will depart. Coming in, Derek Lowe. Johnson, Brooke Lopez and company as they tip off the inaugural season in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. Game on, New York. Get ready for Brooklyn Nets basketball coming this October here on Yes.
Did you say Joe Johnson?
Yeah.
The Nets have Joe Johnson?
Yeah.
My goodness. He's a player.
Yes, he is. Nets have some good players.
Ooh.
Here's Derek Lowe, runner on first base. He'll face Jeff Mathis. And that one is lined into center field. Right there is Granderson, 1 out. Kenny and I are going to go to the Barclays Center for a couple of games. Al, you want to come?
Yeah, sure. Kenny sounds like he knows basketball. He explained a few things to me.
His cousin is Doc Rivers.
I knew that. We had a nice little chat with him in Boston.
You'd learn more if you had Doc there with you than me.
But you have a much better voice than Doc.
Well,
Doc sounds like he's swallowing
you know why?
Brillo.
Because coaches do all that yelling. They got to talk over crowds. That's how they lose their voices.
Yep. Count 1-0 to Moises Sierra. 1-1.
Good slider. You know, watching Derek Lowe, it's not an enviable position to be in the bullpen as the long guy. He hasn't pitched since the 9th. It's a long rest for a reliever, any pitcher. Derek Lowe's 11th appearance with the Yankees.
There's a strike. Boone Logan and Jabba Chamberlain.
But when you get September and you have a lot of additional arms that are part of the bullpen, and you're not a go-to guy, you got to find a way to get your work in. Because when the time's called on you, they're 3-0 ball game here. Derek Lowe's got to be on sharp, even though 10-day rest.
Fly ball center field. Granderson drifts back to make the catch. Lynn tags just to draw the throw. 2 outs.
Nice career Derek Lowe's had. The Red Sox starter, closer, Braves, Indians.
Have sinker, will travel.
Yes.
He's with the Red Sox. I thought he had one of the best sinkers in the game. The ball get up to the plate, just take a 6-inch dive for the dirt.
Father Time. That sink becomes a little bit less sink to it.
Doesn't sink as abruptly as it used to. It's more of a fade now. We were talking about Vizquel before, and in his heyday, of course, Yankee fans remember him with the Cleveland Indians playing shortstop for Cleveland. He and Robbie Alomar, the double play combination, maybe one of the best double play combinations of all time. I mean, Alomar's already in the Hall of Fame, and I think Vizquel's going to join him.
And Curtis Granderson just tied a record held by many as he makes all 3 putouts here in the 6th. No runs a hit. 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Yankees lead this one 3-0. A-Rod against Henderson Alvarez, who has really settled down after a rocky first inning. Since the first inning, he's allowed just 1 hit. So 4 shutout innings as the Yankees have been unable to put the Blue Jays away. And now really have to depend on their bullpen in relief of Andy Pettitte. They put 1 scoreless inning on the board in the 6th. They need 9 more outs. 1-1.
Another good changeup.
Yankees were 3 for 3 to start the game. Ichiro, Swisher, and Cano, 2 singles and a double. They're 1 for 16 since that point. 1-2. Mark Teixeira still not close. Brian Cashman, the Yankee GM, said yesterday he's not going to be back this week, probably not next week. So the Yankees hope to get him back for that final series against the Red Sox. That calf injury has really been barking.
Yeah. You think back to last year when Derek had this similar injury. It took him quite a while. I think it was about 6 weeks for Jeter on the DL. This is not a, one of those injuries. It's a week in your back. Just it's more serious than that.
High fly ball, right center. Colby Rasmus makes the call and the catch, 1 away.
Well, I imagine that they're going to have to, obviously figure out a way whether Teixeira is able to go, with a postseason berth, assuming that all plays out for the Yankees. And you got to give them some at bats at the end of the year. A little different with middle of the season. You try to get 100%. It's just a nagging type ache problem.
Pitch is low. One and one.
Michael, you mentioned it briefly. You like to have the offense tack on a few, getting toward the latter stages of the game, kind of put it just about out of reach.
Is there a moment, Kenny, when you start a game off the way the Yankees did, the 2 singles, Cano's double, A-Rod, little ground ball, then a sac fly, you're thinking, okay, this is going to be not easy, but you just feel as though the bats are going to be comfortable as the day goes along?
Yeah, here's my question. Alvarez came on and started the ball game, was immediately in trouble, gave up 3 runs on 3 hits in the first inning, but settled down since. Was it a matter of the way he warmed up, or he just couldn't get a feel right away to start the ball game? Do you ever have games like that, and then all of a sudden it kicks in?
But some of I think I'd like to see a stat on this. I think the majority of the troubling innings for a starting pitcher is either in the first or second inning. Is it the first inning? I mean, I knew it was for me.
I think that there are more runs scored in the first than any other inning.
And there's a couple reasons for it. Some starters will have a lengthy warm up, and then others, depending upon game time, they'll time their warm ups and their stretch and their long toss and all of the routine leading up to 7:05 or whatever first pitch is, to a T, almost down to the second. And I think often, in my opinion, because I made some adjustments in my career, that I gave myself more time. It was goofy, I thought, that you would give yourself just the right window to hurry up, get down from the bullpen, towel off, and run out for first pitch. But yet in the third inning, your offense scores 8 or 7 or 5, pick a number, and you sit there for 20 minutes. Rest. The best advice I'd give a guy if he struggled in first inning was give yourself an extra 5-10 minutes.
Off the glove of Echeverria, a base hit for Cano.
And also, too, I think what Henderson Alvarez has done after that first inning, Kenny, I don't know what you think here, is that he's added a little slider to his changeup. That was an actual high changeup, 89 mile an hour. Echeverria, just nice effort here. Right past Alvarez. Hot smash.
Echeverria caught that. It might have dragged him into center field. That's how hard it was hit. Another multi-hit game for Robinson Cano.
And that ties him with Bobby Richardson for 20th place on the Yankees all-time hits list with 1,432. Now Bobby's actually in town this week because he has a book that's out. I know he's at the Yogi Berra Museum the other day, and he's been making the rounds. I think he's going to be at the ballpark either for this game or the night game. So Cano now tied with Bobby.
I think Bobby Richardson has the distinction of being an MVP on a World Series team that actually lost the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That was that year that the Yankees lost to the Pirates.
the name of Bobby's book is Impact Player. I always wondered, Kenny, because I used to cover the World Series as a writer, and they would hand out the ballots before the end of the game.
Yeah.
And I think everybody just thought the Yankees were going to win, and the ballot already said Bobby Richardson, and then Mazeroski hits the home run.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they had a chance to really change it. But
They don't do that now, do they?
You know what? They're standing right over you. But I guess they wait until the last moment to take it. But before then, they would collect it earlier. And you know, he did. I think he had 12 hits in that series.
Yeah, he did. Or I think double digit in runs batted in as well.
The 1-2. 2-2. What? You give me that look.
Well, now sorry, pardon me, but I didn't know that the writers covering the World Series voted on the MVP. I thought it was some, I don't know, wizard.
It might be different now, but I know that's what it was. The writers used to vote on the MVP. I think now even they include broadcasters. The 2-2. Now, you had a good chance, though, of always winning these awards because writers love you. You were the go-to guy.
No, I immediately thought of 1997. I wasn't great, but my ERA was lower than Livan Hernandez. He was a good story. He was 2-0 with a high ERA. I was 0-0, I think, with a high ERA. And really, I thought Moises Alou deserved the MVP. He had a heck of a World Series.
Hernandez
They picked Hernandez. And I always wondered. I thought it was like the wizard in the back room just threw out, okay, here's your winner. I didn't know that the writers actually voted.
So you thought there was a wizard in the back room?
I did.
Interesting.
I thought there was a wizard.
The 3-2 runner goes. Strike three. Throw to second. It's high and into center field. Now Cano gets up. And he'll go to third. So that'll be a stolen base for Cano. Now the umpire
calling Cano out on interference with Alex Rodriguez, I believe.
That's exactly what he's doing. So Alex Rodriguez struck out, and the home plate umpire Lance Barksdale said he interfered with the throw. And he's right. He did step in front of him.
There it is. Strike three, steps right in front of Mathis. You cannot do that.
Take away the error, give Mathis an assist. And the put out goes to Vizquel, who was covering second base.
So strike him out, throw him out, double play. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We played 6 innings here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, and after that interference, Yankees still lead 3-0 and will head to the 7th. Lead 3-0. Vizquel 1 for 3, tied Babe Ruth on the all-time hits list. Robinson Cano with a double, a ribby, and a run scored. And Andy Pettitte, that was the real story. Obviously, the Yankees have to win the game, but that's almost more than a sidebar. Andy Pettitte making his first start since June 27th and went 5 innings, threw 75 pitches, walked 2, struck out 3. Most importantly, did not allow a run and looked like the ball was coming out of his hand well.
You know, Michael, I thought it looked very easy for him. And when you're sitting in that little rocking chair on the mound, going back and forth, using all your pitches, getting good counts, it's a fun afternoon for Andy.
All right, Jabba Chamberlain will come on now for the Yankees in the 7th inning. One and 0. A little early for Halloween, but it's not early for the Cadillac scoreboard. 3-0 Yanks. Driven out to deep left center field. A long run for Granderson. Going back, he's going to have to play it off the wall. Echeverria with a leadoff double against Java here in the 7th.
Well, he got into a high fastball. You know, you learn a lot about some of the younger players in September when they come up. You get a look at him. Echeverria was up earlier this year. He was playing third base in Toronto. And we've seen him at shortstop today. This might not even been a strike. I do not think so. I mean, it's up shoulder high, and he gets on top of it somehow and drives it. Short hops the wall at deepest left center field. Granderson going to play for the hop. The high carom off the wall and a coasting double for Echeverria.
So here's Gose. Bunted straight up in the air. A long run for Chavez, and he makes the play. Beautiful play for Chavez.
Well, just a matter if there was enough airtime under this one. And Chavez racing just enough. Reaches on the backhand's going to slide into it and make the play. I wonder what Gose was thinking, trying to lay down a bunt.
Probably his best way to get on.
Yeah,
Ken.
maybe. Yeah, but they're down by 3 runs. Here's the pop up, and here's the play. Gold Glove form.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying you're down by 3 here this late in the game, but my guess is that he thought that Chavez was far enough back.
Pitch to Davis is outside. Kenny, I just wanted to finish up with the Bobby Richardson stuff. I was wondering, he had 12 runs batted in 1960 and 11 hits. It wasn't 12 hits.
Okay. That's still impressive in a 7-game series on the losing side.
And also in the 64 series, Kenny, he had 13 hits.
Yeah.
That one is lined into center field. And Granderson will make the catch to retire Davis. And Echeverria stays at second. Bobby Richardson, 12 seasons with the Yanks, 4 World Series titles. He won the MVP, as we've been talking about, in 1960. 8-time All-Star, 5 Gold Glove awards at second, and 209 hits in 1962. That led the American League. A lot of people thought that he retired much too early, but he had had enough. And he got out at the right time because the Yankees started to turn into a bad team after that. Everybody got old at the same time.
He and Tony Kubek, a very solid double play combination for the Yankees.
Well, that's going to do it for Java, as Girardi will go to the bullpen again. He'll bring on another left-hander. 3-0 Yanks. the New York Yankees. Under the Toyota sign, David Robertson is getting ready. And the Yankees go to Boone Logan, his 73rd game of the year. As Joe is mixing and matching, he knew his starter wasn't going to give him that much length today. I think Andy gave them more than they could have hoped for. 75 pitches, 5 innings. So they've gone through Rapata, Lowe, Chamberlain, and now Boone Logan to face Colby Rasmus.
Yeah, 73 appearances. That is the most in the American League. He's been in more games than any other pitcher.
There's a strike to Rasmus.
Well, again, the whole mixing and matching that Joe Girardi's doing with Brett Laurie on deck and Robertson hurrying up. Boone Logan hoping that he gets this left-handed batter out. Finish the inning.
0-2.
Yeah, when you think about the start from Andy, you know, stayed away from Freddie Garcia. You talk about the possibility of having to share, maybe eat up some innings. Derek Lowe had 10 days off. He only had to go in innings. They're in good shape in this doubleheader.
Center field. Granderson drifts back. He'll make the play. And that will do it. Here in the 7th, the Yankees survive the leadoff double. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretcher at the stadium. Yankees lead the Blue Jays 3-0, but we'll stay right where we are to honor America in the Bronx.
As we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the globe. Thank you. Now, join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to join in, sing along as Yankee Stadium organist Paul Cartier plays "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Doubleheader brought to you by Verizon Fios. Introducing Verizon Fios Quantum Speed. Internet twice as fast as anything America has ever seen. Ricky Romero He's 0 for his last 14 decisions. 8 and 14, 0 for his last 13. 5.87 against David Phelps. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Yes with the pregame, and the game will be on My 9 right around 7:07. Alvarez deals low to Granderson, and the count 1-0. One and one. Cadillac scoreboard 3-0 Yankees. So the Blue Jays have out-hit the Yankees today. And the Yankees 3 runs in the first inning, holding up. One and two.
You know, looking at the matchup tonight with Phelps and Romero. Romero, probably his best start of the year, Michael, was that start a couple weeks ago here at the stadium. And you look at what Alvarez is doing now. Again, going into this start here, an ERA close to 5 after the first inning, thinking the Yanks are just going to have a field day. He has been able to get away with that fastball there, running anywhere his velocity in the low to mid 90s. See the hands pulling in, Granderson trying to catch up to that. He's thrown just enough off speed pitches, but I think right now he's the guy that has gotten away with some mistakes in the zone. A few of the Yankee hitters have either just not been able to square up pitches in the middle like that. First pitch slider, which is tough to sit on.
It's a season high 7 strikeouts for Alvarez.
Ground ball up the middle. Backhanded by Vizquel, still smooth at 45, and he puts away Martin for the second out. First inning, 3 hits and 3 runs for Alvarez. Since then, 2 hits and throwing shutout ball. But he might have rebounded a little bit too little too late, as his offense, which has really been dreadful lately with all the injuries, they've been unable to do anything against the Yankee pitchers. Hot shot, nice play on the backhand by Lind, and the Yankees go down in order in the 7th against Alvarez. 7-pitch inning for Alvarez. We'll go to the 8th. Yankees up 3-0. At VWDealer.com. By Kettle One. Gentlemen, this is vodka. Please drink responsibly. And by Honda. Visit your Honda dealer right now for great deals. Only a Honda is a Honda. Well, the Yankees will go to their 6th pitcher of the day. Now you would think, well, they're getting roughed up. No, they haven't allowed a run. Andy Pettitte gave the Yankees 5 innings in his comeback start. 75 pitches, did not allow a run. Then Rapata, Lowe, Chamberlain, Logan, and now David Robertson here in the 8th.
Nice little formula. It started with Andy Pettitte, 75 pitches, gets through 5 innings. And there you see it.
Heart of the order for Robertson, starting with Brett Lawrie. Count 1-0. Hammered into left center field. It's a base hit. It gets past Ichiro and goes to the wall. Lawrie will stop at second with a leadoff double against Robertson.
Second straight inning, the Jays have started with a 2-base hit. This pitch is kind of centered. You can see the target is outside, but the pitch drifts towards the middle and almost about belt high. Laurie's young, up-and-coming player in this league. He's got a lot of tools. He can really play third base. Has speed, has some power, and he's only going to get better. And right now, he's got himself a booming double to the gap in left center. This guy plays hard, too. I mean, geez.
High energy.
Yeah.
From British Columbia and Canada out there out west, and plays like a football player, hockey player.
Here's Adam Lind. There's a strike. The rain out yesterday gave the Yankees 2 straight off days, and it is the last time, barring another rain out, the Yankees will have an off day until the end of the regular season. Derek Jeter did not start the first game. He'll play in the second game. Girardi did not feel as if he wanted to risk playing him in both games. Lind 1 for 7 lifetime against Robertson. Blue Jays have 7 hits, Yankees 5. Fouled away. This is where the Yankees will break down the rest of the regular season. You have a game tomorrow night, 7:05 on Yes, then Friday on My 9 against Oakland, then 2 afternoon games against Oakland. Then the Yankees hit the road, 3 in Minnesota, and then 4 in Toronto. And they finish the season October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd at home against the Red Sox. It's funny the way things change from the beginning of the season to the end. If you looked at the schedules before the season and you figured the Yankees and the Tampa Bay Rays would be fighting each other in the American League East, well, you'd say, well, the Yankees against the Red Sox, that's a tough go. The Red Sox are going to be right there. And look at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gets 3 games against Baltimore. My, how 6 months changes things. Now those games against the Red Sox look easier for the Yankees, although you can never tell. And the games for the Orioles look tougher against a good Tampa Bay pitching staff that's had trouble hitting them.
And if you throw in Oakland, they've got a tough road trip. Talking about coming out east, facing the Yanks, the Tigers, and Texas.
That is tough. This Copperhead telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
This last 3 games against the Red Sox, and you mentioned it, Michael, I think, we've all seen what the Orioles have done this year, and they've had a tremendous comeback season. They've tied with the Yankees currently for first place. But I think their momentum for last season, for this season, started at the tail end of last season when they knocked the Red Sox out of the playoff picture on the final day of the season.
Hot shot, base hit through the left side. Lawrie held up. He'll head just to third and stop right there. And the Blue Jays are set up now. 1st and 3rd, nobody out here in the 8th inning against Robertson.
Robertson getting a changeup up in the zone. He actually got burned on that very same pitch up in Boston. Jacoby Ellsbury got a game-winning hit. High changeup. Adam Lind going the other way. Blue Jays have something going here. Good base running there. Brett Lawrie making sure the ball hit in front of you. It has to go to the outfield.
So Lawrie is at 3rd. They have a pinch runner at first base. I believe it's Mike McCoy. Yep. And Kelly Johnson is going to pinch hit for Jeff Mathis. So John Farrell's going for it right here. And why not? Johnson one hit in his last 13 at bats in his last 5 games. He has power though, 14 home runs and 50 runs batted in. Mathis was 0 for 3 today in his 3 at bats. Laurie at third, McCoy is at first. 0-2.
Same count that he had Adam Lynn. David Robertson, see about it making a pitch here. Don't make mistakes middle of the plate. You got a chance as a pitcher to put him away. This is it right here. You think your strikeout pitch.
Count 1-2.
Reach back a little bit more there. Got 94, his best fastball. And if something off speed, you can't think that your catcher can't handle blocking the ball with a runner at third.
Base hit to left field. A pinch hit single for Johnson. That will drive home Laurie. And now the Blue Jays are on the board and the Bluebirds are in the Bronx as the Yankee lead is now 3-1. And Larry Rothschild will go out and talk with Robertson.
I just think here you see where the glove, he wanted the ball up, that ball has ended up down and away. Missing location big. Anytime you have a chance, and Robertson's done such a good job of executing the pitch, you gotta nail it. 0-2, 1-2, it's pitcher pitch mentality.
Hey, follow the Yankees at the MLB.com @Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Yankees.com for details.
You know, in close games, obviously it's now 3-1. Every pitch counts. Every mistake gets magnified.
Here's Moises Sierra.
Yankees kind of looking for the bunt here.
Taking a fastball, 0-1.
No sign of it.
Sorry, Kenny, for the looks of this guy's biceps, I don't know if he's bunted since maybe Little League.
Well, he hasn't certainly bunted at the major league level. Maybe he has and just hasn't been able to get one down, but he does not have a sacrifice bunt.
Missed outside, 1-1.
Just by the size of his biceps, you're saying he's not bunting?
I think there's a lot of guys that could call up. You know this, that they're the 3, 4, 5 hitter all the way through the minors and never been asked to bunt.
Aren't you supposed to learn that in instructional league? Learn how to bunt?
Yeah.
They teach you how to run the bases.
Count 2-1.
What do they spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes worth of batting practice, maybe? At the most.
And 2 bunts.
Yep.
Omar Vizquel, he knows how to bunt. He's on deck.
Well, they're on the road. They're not playing for the tie.
The 2-1. 2-2.
Goes back with that curveball. He's been missing pretty big in location, almost a foot or two. We saw how badly he missed with Kelly Johnson. Free swinger and Sierra, righty on righty. Throw that big hook.
Two. Strike 3. Moises Sierra down looking.
Or the fastball down the middle.
Kenny, what could a hitter be thinking, taking a fastball down the middle?
Geez, that was always looking for a fastball. You're right, just about down the middle. Maybe he thought it was low, but certainly, as Al called it, right down the chute.
Hit the point.
No, but that ball was down. I mean, down, good quality pitcher's pitch down. Ooh, he got one.
It was a little low.
It was a rookie call.
Lance Barksdale punches him out. So 1 out for Robertson and the Yankees, and here is Vizquel. Missed outside, 1-0. Granderson in an extraordinarily shallow center field for Vizquel. And that one is hammered down the right field line. It's a base hit. It goes into the corner. McCoy will score. Hustling around third and stopping right there is Johnson. And it's a double and an RBI for Vizquel. And now it's Yankees 3 and Blue Jays 2.
Wow, Omar Vizquel getting a fastball up in the zone, rips it, keeps his hands inside the baseball, keeping the ball fair just inside the right field foul line. Quickly, Abania is getting that ball into Cano. Cautiously, Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, holding him up with one out.
Now, Adeiny Echeverria is a very good bunter, and just seeing Butterfield and also Johnson stare into the dugout to get the sign from John Farrell. So a bunt could happen here. They're in at the corners. We'll see how the Blue Jays play this. There's a strike. (3-2) Yankees lead. We're in the 8th. Grounded foul, so that'll take the bunt away with 2 strikes. Cody Ethley and Soriano getting ready.
If you get a ground ball here, you want it almost directly at Chavez or directly at Nick Swisher at first. And they could effectively hold the runner at third.
Missed outside.
Short or second, Blue Jays are going to score.
Kelly Johnson is at third, and Vizquel at second. One-two. Nice block there by Martin. 2-2.
Very good block by Russell Martin. That's the pitch there where you just have to be trusting of your catcher that the curveball should be down in the zone. You're ahead the count as a pitcher. Don't think about hanging the ball up in the zone where the hitter can get the barrel on it.
Important pitch coming up, so they're having a conference at the mound to talk about it. Cano, Martin, and Robertson.
We talked about mentioning the instructional league, and part of the instructional league you can learn base running. When you're at third base in a situation like this, you got to read how the ground ball is hit. Now, if it's to the left of the third baseman, it's going to be a tough play for him to throw you out at home. So you get that nice walking lead. Left of the third baseman, you take off. It'll be tough for Chavez to throw him out. Short and second, you're going. First base, it's right in front of you. You can read it.
2-2. Inside. 3-2.
Here's how the infield is set up defensively.
25 pitches so far for Robertson. Joe Girardi had worked his bullpen to get to his 8th inning guy with a 3-0 lead, and he got that. And then he would turn it over to Soriano in the 9th, but he's not gone according to plan so far. 3-2. Strike 3 outside corner. Echeverria down looking. A huge strikeout for Robertson.
Both his outs this inning have been called third strikes on young hitters. That one did have the corner. Looked like a little cut.
Yes.
A little cutter to the outside corner. Echeverria, much too close to take. You got to at least try and spoil that, foul it off. He didn't. Pays the price.
A little bit of a surprising move here by Girardi. He's going to take the ball from Robertson. Ghost is up. Now he goes to the bullpen again. It's going to be Soriano for 4 outs. You're back in the studio to break down today's action and get the latest on the developing playoff picture. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz has the team's reaction from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame, and it's only on Yes. Each game means so much. Yankees and the Orioles essentially tied for the top of the American League East. The Orioles will play tonight in Seattle. So the Yankees are going to try to get 4 outs out of Rafael Soriano. Runners on second and third. And he is going to face the youngster Anthony Gose. And you see the numbers on Soriano, 40 out of 43 for saves. And he walks into a tough situation here.
Yeah, this is just a gut feel. It wasn't a matchup at all. David Robertson, batting average against the lefties 196. Soriano's 214. I think with Soriano's slider off speed, I think Joe Girardi just saw that as a better matchup to get Anthony Gose.
Now I know there are 2 outs, but Gose is an outstanding bunter. And Swisher is backed up at first. And he's got extraordinary speed. Let's see if they play that game or if he just plays it up straight. Another good block by Martin. Rajai Davis is on deck. He's had 4 4-out saves this season, so this is not something new for him.
This is Gose's first ever at bat against Soriano. First ever.
Count 2-0. In at the corners, back at second and third, obviously with 2 outs. Runners on second and third. 2 runs already in. There's a strike.
It's a smart pitch right there. You have a youngster and Gose behind in the count. Dead red situation. You got the open base. There's no reason to give in to a hitter. If you get behind, you start over Rajai Davis. 2-0-2-1. Let's see if he throws that slider again. It is his out pitch. Fastball.
2-2.
You know, just that alone, pitching backwards. A 2-0, he's looking fastball. Nice get me over slider, and then that 93 looks like 103.
Now there's a lot of doubt in the hitter's yes. What comes next?
Line down the left field line. It is a foul ball. Just foul. That would have given the Blue Jays the lead.
Slicing from right to left off the left-handed batter's bat. We see this one. And a lot of breath was collectively held by the fans here. Maybe about 2 feet. 2 feet out, you think? 2 feet foul.
Watch here, Kenny. Again, wants the ball in. That ball is outer third. You got to make a better pitch in games like this. 3-2. The location is so important. Misses by 17 inches.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Yankees lead 3-2 in the 8th. The pitch. 3-2. Shadows starting to play a role as you see the shadows of the lights over the stadium crossing across home plate. In a couple of minutes, you'll have home plate completely in shadows.
Advantage pitcher. See, it's sun and then all of a sudden darkness.
Johnson at third. Vizquela's at second. 2 men out, top of the 8th inning. 3-2 Yankees lead. And the pitch. He walked him. Bases are loaded for the Blue Jays with Rajai Davis coming up.
Tough at bat. You see where Russell Martin is setting up. That ball is inside. Lance Barksdale, good call. Be a good shot right here. Start over now with Rajai Davis.
More experienced hitter at the plate, but he's only had 4 at-bats in his career against Soriano, 1 for 4.
Pitch outside. Martin wants to talk with Soriano. Each pitch means so much, as you can't afford to give away games where you have a lead in the 8th inning. This lead is hanging by a thread right now. Davis 1 for 4 today. Struck out twice. Strike on the outside corner. He's dialing it up 94 miles an hour. Davis with the bases loaded, a .417 hitter. Johnson at third, Vizquel at second. And Gose is at first. The 1-1. Missed outside. If you want to take it a step further with Davis, bases loaded and 2 outs, he's a .367 hitter. Blue Jays about hit the Yankees 10-5, but the Yankees lead 3-2. Just clipped the outside corner, 2-2. Davis cannot believe that call.
Well, he's been in that location the whole time. This would be a good shot to see if this is off the plate or not. He was just down and away, just missing. That ball's 2 or 3 inches outside. Soriano, the Yankees got a call.
After Davis, you got to expect it out there again, don't you?
Sliding.
The 2-2. Line drive, left field. That is going to be caught. A basket catch by Ichiro. He holds on to end the inning. A sinking line drive. Ichiro comes on and makes the play and saved the lead for the Yankees. He bobbled and ran up his wrist. He held on to end the inning, and everybody at Yankee Stadium takes a deep breath as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Yankees up by 1. Davis and the lead hanging in the balance.
Ichiro with the reception that you might see on a Sunday afternoon. Nice. Certainly worthy of the first out or the third out in this case. Nice play by Ichiro. Boy, right in the heel of the glove, up into the chest, and holds on into the dirt, rolls over, maintains possession, and the inning's over.
First down.
And this is Rajai Davis. He wants this ball to get down. Nope, not this time.
Tough sun field here later in the day here at Yankee Stadium. And I think off the bat, it looked like it had a lot of topspin. I think Ichiro thought that ball was a little bit shorter than it was, and he ended up having to back up a little, catch it with his chest.
New pitcher is Darren Oliver, and the new hitter is Andrew Jones. And right off the fist, and he pops it up to first, and the catch is made. No, he dropped it. Omar Vizquel, who's playing first base, could not hold on. Oh, he did hold on, but they say he caught it in fair territory. He steps on the bag, and that's it. Andrew Jones is out, and Andrew Jones can't believe it. And now Joe Girardi is going to go out and argue with Toby Basner, the first base umpire. We'll take a look at the replay, and we'll see, is it a fair ball?
Yeah, it's definitely a fair ball. In and out of the glove. Yep, he's it.
There's drop.
It hits the ground finally. Wow. Rolls up the back of his arm. Here's the pitch. Swung on it. Looked like he got jammed somewhat. Tried to force it off, and it's going to go as 3 unassisted for the out.
Why don't we check it out on the Coors Light Freeze cam? Right there. You can see it's in fair territory. What happens after that? Well, it's a ball in play, and Vizquel stepped on first for the out. Andrew Jones can't believe it. What? Huh? How? And there's a strike to Nunez.
There's a new catcher in the game. Right behind Nunez, there's J.P. Arancibia.
And Johnson takes over at second, where Vizquel had started. Driven down the right field line and slicing foul. 56 games for the ageless one. What a year Darren Oliver's put together. 3-3, 1.73.
He'll get an invitation back.
I think he's going to get a lot of invitations.
Yes, he will.
Popped up. Boy, has the Yankees off balance. 2 outs. If you want to look ahead to the 9th inning against Soriano, it's going to be Erasmus, Laurie, and I guess Arancibia. Yeah. Hyundai scoreboard 3-2, Yankees lead. And here's Ichiro, might have saved the day with that catch in left field. He also has 2 singles today. Breaking ball strike. Ichiro has had some success against Oliver. 8 hits and 28 at bats. That one is looped to left field. Long run for Goes. He does. He can't make the play. And the Yankees catch a bad break as the ball bounced into the seats rather than down the line. Ichiro might have been looking at an inside the park home run. But he gets a double, his 3rd hit of the day.
Well, I mentioned that Gose has all kinds of speed, but not quite enough here. Ball underneath his glove, takes the hop off the warning track and up into the seats for the double. The effort is there, but the results aren't.
So right, Michael. You see that ball that hugs the line, it goes down to the left field fence. That could have been a inside the park home run. And Gose has such good speed, good effort.
This is a big at bat now for Nick Swisher. Give the Yankees some breathing room in the 9th inning. Swisher 1 for 3 today. Fastball is high. Swisher 9 at bats lifetime against Oliver without a hit. Batting from the right side for the first time today. Henderson Alvarez pitched well, gave them 7 innings and allowed just 3 runs. Ichiro was going, but the ball fouled back. He had third base stolen. The third baseman Laurie wasn't even covering.
I think he wanted to give up his position, and also you risk a wild throw and Ichiro would score. So he got a great jump. It's almost as if it was going to be a free pass, easy pass.
Oliver made his major league debut in 1993. The first baseman for the Blue Jays. Vizquel made it in 1989. Taking too much time, so Swisher steps out. Ichiro at second has picked up his 4th 3-hit game as a Yankee. The 2-1. Missed outside. It'll be interesting to see how Joe Girardi plays it in the second game with the left-hander Romero on the mound. Would you continue to play Ichiro, who's swinging the bat well, or would you put Andrew Jones, who continues to struggle in the lineup?
You take a look at the numbers, the overall numbers of the two players. And plus you factor in what's been going on lately with the two players.
There's a strike. He's been pretty consistent with that righty lineup, though. I agree with you, Kenny, especially in these games that mean so much. But Andrew Jones seems to be the guy who's playing left field against all lefties. It'll be interesting to see how he plays it in the nightcap.
The numbers would suggest otherwise. Ichiro is a .360 hitter of Ricky Romero.
3-2. Line drive and pass. Laurie into left field. Ichiro will score. It's a big RBI single for Nick Swisher, and the Yankees lead 4-2. An absolutely blistering hot shot that Laurie could not make the play on.
Kind of reminded you of the ball that was hit down to Chavez earlier in the ball game. This was down and in and just raked. Barrel of the bat, quick hands or none. Not quick enough. Over the glove, Yankees pick up an extra run, some insurance. It's Nick Swisher selling insurance here in the 8th inning.
I wonder, is there a disadvantage of ball coming out of the shade? Is it harder to pick up?
You know what? I mentioned that the other day when we were in Baltimore, because it's a disadvantage for the outfielders. You can't follow the swing of the hitter. And the same thing applies here. The ball goes from darkness to light.
I think that was just
plus it was hit hard. Yeah, it was a missile.
Here's Cano. The throw over.
Huge tack-on run. Can't say enough about you have a struggling 8th inning, give up a couple runs, and now give Soriano some breathing room.
And plus, after the first two hitters were out, double followed by a single. And that's Swisher's first ever hit against Darren Oliver.
Cano has good numbers against Oliver. 6 hits and 12 at bats. Waved at that one, count 0-2.
Darren Oliver, fastball slider guy. You wonder with that 6 for 12, Michael, that he's going to come up with another pitch. See that slow curveball. Very few percentages of Darren Oliver's pitches is that slow down the way breaking ball.
The 0-2. Fouled over the screen, still 0-2.
Yeah, Michael said Darren Oliver's been around a long time. That's very true, and it's because during the course of his career he's been used in various roles. One reason he's been around so long because he's left-handed. That certainly helps because managers now can use him in matchups out of the bullpen up against a tough lefty hitter, or he was a starter way back when with the Texas Rangers, and also you can leave him in to face get hitters out during the course of a whole inning.
Grounded to first, grabbed there by Vizquel, and that will do it. But the Yankees get a big tack-on run. The double by Ichiro, the single by Swisher. We go to the 9th. It's Soriano's job to protect this lead. Are number 1, Andy Pettit. Number 2, Robinson Cano. Number 3, Ichiro Suzuki. Number 4, Nick Swisher. So vote now and make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply.
We're going to go back to August 27th here at the stadium, and it's Soriano on the mound and Colton Rasmus at the plate. This was a 3-run homer in the 9th inning that erased the Yankee lead, and it turned into a Blue Jays victory. They won the ball game by a score 8-7. Now Rasmus is going to lead it off here. He is not in position to do that right now as he faces Soriano here on September 19th.
Shows bunt, takes low. Rasmus, Lowry, and Arancibia. Chris Dickerson takes over in left field. And Ichiro takes over for Ibanez in right. Really takes over for Jones, who would pinch hit for Ibanez. There's a strike. Shattered bat and grounded foul.
Speaking of Rasmus and home runs, he only needs one more to tie his career high, which he had set, of course, in St. Louis. 22 home runs this year. That's pretty good production. His batting average kind of low in the 230s. So he's already got a career high in runs batted in. So he's a good defender. He's got decent speed in the outfield, can run the bases pretty well.
The 1-2. 2-2. Want to remind everybody there's a night portion of this day-night doubleheader, and our coverage will start at 6:30 on Yes, with a pregame show, and the game tonight will be on My 9. We'll come on the air at 7. First pitch will be around 7:07, 7:08. So make sure to come on back and watch the second game of this day-night doubleheader. Swing and a miss. Rasmus down on strikes.
Well, looking at that flashback, it was a 3-2 count. He ended up getting a slider, the 3-2 curved slider. This ends up being a fastball. You talk about learning from your brief history or short history, and it wasn't but a couple weeks ago that Rasmus was able to hit a slider into the right field bleachers here. Good year, misses a lot, that 229 batting average, but does have power.
Now this place has to be cleaned up after everybody departs, so they are ready to get this place in top shape for the night portion.
The one thing about Rasmus, that was his 134th strikeout. Yeah. Although when you look at the way hitters strike out now, it doesn't carry the stigma it used to.
100, what used to be the stay away from the 100 strikeout mark?
My goodness, yes. Nobody wanted to strike out 100 times. You got Adam Dunn approaching 200.
Right back to Soriano. And an underhand toss to Swisher, and the Yankees are 1 out away. Well, the Yankees get this final out. They really dodged the bullet with that 8th inning. The sinking line drive to Ichiro. And then getting that insurance run in the 9th. Or in the bottom of the 8th. All right, here's Arancibia. He's got power, but again, with a 2-run lead, you don't have to be that careful. And a strike. Soriano looks much more comfortable here in the 9th than he did in the 8th. When he walk goes, and then Rajai Davis line one to left with the bases loaded.
Arancibia, another player who spent a significant amount of time on the DL for the Blue Jays this year. It seems like everybody's had a stint on it. Broken hand.
Swing and a miss. Blue Jays down to their final strike. the pitch. Bounced it up there 1-2. Arancibia did not bite. And the 1-2. He swings and misses, and the Yankees win this one 4-2. Soriano with a 4-out save. Andy Pettitte gets the victory after missing almost 3 months with 5 shutout innings. And the Yankees hold on despite being out-hit by the Blue Jays as Arancibia strikes out against Soriano to give them the victory in the first game of this day-night doubleheader. Got to stick around for the post-game show to find out who's tonight's Chevy Player of the Game. And with that victory, the Yankees now gain a half game on the Orioles. Remember, the Orioles will play tonight against the Seattle Mariners. And the Yankees will play tonight as well against the Blue Jays. But we have more. Big game for Icho with 3 hits. The good play out in left field. We'll wrap things up and get it to Bob and John and Meredith on the postgame. Stick around.